Good morning, everybody. It's fasting day 19. In just a couple short days, we will be closing down this amazing journey that we've been sharing together. And I don't know about you, but I've been learning so much. I mean, we have learned that we can take physical hunger and use it as a trigger to grow our spiritual hunger. That's an incredible thing. And these few weeks, we've learned on week one, it was foggy, it was difficult, but intentionally seeking God, God responds to that. And suddenly it's like, His voice, His presence, His guidance is becoming pretty strong in my life. Week two, it started to become like a very clear focus for you. Now week three, we're like, this is actually a rhythm that's actually feeding my soul. One of the things I like to do in this third week is start thinking about lessons that we've learned along the way. And really the reality is rhythms feed our souls. And anything that feeds your soul is worth keeping going. So let's keep on the other side of this fast. What I'm talking about today is faith is work. Faith is work. So often we think we have faith over here, work over there. They don't really connect too much together. Now, listen, your acceptance before God is a gift of grace received by faith, not of works. Remember Ephesians 2:8-9. It's by grace you were saved, through faith, not of works. So I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is that biblical faith is always an active faith. Biblical faith leans into God, follows God, trusts God. And here's what I'm trying to say today. Trust is learned behavior. It's not automatic. It's like learning to trust any other person. You have to invest your time, your effort, and energy getting to know them, to trust in them. And it's the same thing in our faith. Faith is learned behavior. Trust is learned behavior. I want to look today with you at John chapter 6. It's the feeding of the 5,000. And Jesus had just fed the 5,000. And the very next day he goes to the other side of the lake. And then the crowds follow him. Why are they following him? Because it's time for their next meal, and they are simply hungry. And you know all about that. John chapter 6, I'm going to show you verse 27. Jesus tells the crowds, "Do not labor for the food that perishes, but for the food that endures to eternal life, which the Son of Man will give to you. For on him God the Father has set his seal." What's going on here? Well, Jesus is telling you, don't labor for the food which perishes. In other words, don't give the best of your time, effort, and energy for that which doesn't last or matter in eternity. And one of the things we've been learning in this fast is how to give the best of our time, effort, and energy to labor for that which does last. But Jesus' warning here about don't labor for that which does not last, for the food is the term that he's using. Rather, we do that every day. I mean, we go to our jobs, we work, and we labor. And so much of what we do really doesn't connect to our lives in eternity or the things of eternity. And so Jesus is calling us to invest our best of our time, effort, and energy into the things of eternal life. One of the things we've been learning from this fast, like Jesus said, isn't life more than food? We're like, yeah, we learned that. Life is more than food. Jesus also taught us, man doesn't live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. And we've been learning, yeah, that's true. We don't live by physical food alone. There's a spiritual side where God feeds my heart, and that's an incredible thing. But on the other hand, Jesus says, but you should labor. But you should labor for the things that endure for eternal life. Now check this out. John chapter 6 and verse 27. Jesus answered them and said, "This is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he has sent." So what's the labor? It's to labor in trusting God. It's to labor in growing in your trust for God. Now, when Jesus mentions the food that lasts to eternal life, often we hear those words eternal life and we think like, oh, that's afterlife. That's after we die. But in the Greek, it literally means life with God now and forever. So what should we be doing? What we've been doing on this fast. Leaning into God, learning to trust him, giving our best of our time, effort, and energy to grow in the things of eternity. That food that feeds our hearts and our souls. That's what we've been learning to do, and that's what we can continue to do on the other side of this fast as we continue these rhythms of seeking God, prayer, opening his word, and responding to those nudges in our everyday lives. Friends, it's been an amazing journey. We're almost done. We'll break it in a couple of days. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Let's finish strong, encouraging each other. And just know that I love you, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.